do parents really want? One of the problems that I have is that as an executive function coach, I we often get lost in the weeds. We often get off course. We often focus on the wrong things. So what happens is that parents are what we want for our kids is for them to have a good life. Number one thing I've heard more than anything from parents over 20 years of working with families, the number one thing I've ever heard come out of their mouths is this: I just want my kid to be happy, or I just want my kid to be successful, or I just want my kid to be happy and successful, or I just want my kid to be happy, healthy, and successful. Some version of that exact sentiment is what I've heard more than anything. I just want my kid to be happy. Well, what in the world does that mean anyway? So the problem is that we forget what that means. And it's a little bit different for everybody. But in general, what we mean when we say, I want to simplify this for you. What we mean when we say, I just want my kid to be happy, is that there are four general areas that we want them to be happy: mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially. And you might say spiritually. Now, what about financial independence? Well, that fits in there, obviously. Well, what about career? Well, that fits in there. I mean, all this stuff fits in there. So essentially, when we're saying, I want my kid to be happy, there are these sort of common things we want. We want our kids to be financially stable. We want them to have good social lives. We want them to be mentally astute and mentally challenged. We want them to have great careers that they enjoy, with doing work that matters, that's meaningful, that's purposeful to them, yada, yada. So we know what we mean when we say we want them to be happy. The problem comes with this. The problem comes when we sort of go by this unconscious but very prevalent messaging that culture and society has indoctrinated us in. And that messaging goes like this: in order to be happy, you go to school, you work hard, you get good grades, you graduate, you go to college or whatever you do after school, you learn some more stuff, you get a job, you make good money, you retire happy, and you die. And that's our recipe. And what that means in terms of the practical day to day with what you parents are dealing with is that we get very focused on grades, very focused on, did you do your homework? And it creates a lot of tension because we're not questioning, is the homework valid? How valid is it? How engaging is it? How meaningful is it? How much will it help my child's life? For example, one of the things that bothers me to no end, it is absolutely absurd to me that kids can be learning, let's say, the Pythagorean theorem in math, yet we don't teach financial literacy. We don't teach how to balance a checkbook. We don't teach how to tip at a restaurant. We don't teach how to calculate simple percentages. We don't teach how to calculate tax. We don't teach them how much it's going to cost to pay their bills when they're older. Like, they don't know any of this stuff. That is like, if we want them to be happy, they have to know some of these super basic life skills. They don't know how to make macaroni and cheese. Some of them don't know how to make their bed, do their laundry, cook some food. So what are we really teaching? And what we've done is we've created a system that's very measurable, and we think that because it's measurable that it matters. Just because it's measurable doesn't mean it matters. So just because you have a grade and a score doesn't mean that it means anything. So anyhow, I just wanted to share a little bit about that. What do parents want, and how do we focus really on, we want them to be happy, healthy, and successful. What's going to give them that? Is education doing it? Is their school doing it? If not, what do we need to do to fill in those gaps? Because they're not going to fill themselves in. So how can we creatively help our children learn the things that are going to help them be happy, healthy, and successful in life? I hope that helped you. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up or a comment on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on my blog, whatever you want to do. I just hope this was helpful to you, and share my work if you like it. I'll see you soon.